Hare Krishna, we welcome all the devotees, all the viewers of ISKCON Bulla official channel. Yesterday we have heard how the Vidura and Maitreya Muni's discussion and how Vidura is inquiring that how Lord has created, and in that conversation in the chapter number 5 towards end, Maitreya Muni is saying how the creation been done, how the devatas they are asking, they are requesting to the Lord for direction and inspiration how to create. And in this chapter, chapter number 6, we will be seeing how the creation of the universal form. So how the 23 ingredients they were already there for the creation, but they could not do independently anything until Lord is giving the time factor. When the time factor added to that, everything started amalgamation and everything started to functioning, and whatever we see today is the by mercy of the Lord. In this way, he will be explaining further. Maitreya Muni will be explaining further to Vidura, and towards the end of this chapter, he will be saying that when Brahmaji did for 1,000 years celestial, 1,000 celestial years tapasya to know about the Lord, finally he got the conclusion that to understand Krishna is very, very difficult. That is why only we should pray to him and we should be satisfied in that much. So further more details, His Grace Padaseva Prabhu is the President of ISKCON Bulla, he has come and he will be telling more details of this chapter. Hare Krishna.
Om Yajnanandmirandasya Jnananjanasaraka Chakshurunmritam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome to our ISKCON Bulla official YouTube channel. As introduced by His Grace Premanand Prabhu, I am going to discuss 6th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, in which how creation is done, that is being described. So, then I will hear from text 1 to 10 how this creation of universal form will be described in this chapter, and particularly from 1 to 10 development of gigantic universal form. How this developed, this universal form. It is stated that the Supreme Powerful Lord then simultaneously entered into the 23 elements with the goddess Kali, his external energy, who alone amalgamates all the different elements. These earth, water, etc., these elements, these are created by the Lord. These are the energy of the Lord, as stated in Bhagavad Gita 7th chapter. So, then it is said that the gigantic Virat Purusha, when the 23 principal elements were set in action by the will of the Supreme, the gigantic universal form or the universal body of the Lord came into existence. So, the gigantic Virat Purusha, known as Hiranmaya, lived for 1,000 celestial years on the water of the universe, and all the living entities lay with him. This water is known as Garbhodaka Jala, in which this Vishnu is laying. So we'll hear from 11 to 26, this 16 verses, a manifestation of demigods from the universal form. Demigods were created. It is stated that there are 33 crores of demigods are there. So in text 12 it is said that Agni or heat separated from his mouth, and all the directors of the material affairs entered into it in their respective positions. By that energy, the living entity expresses himself in words. We started to use our tongue in expressing words. In this way, Varuna it comes from palate, from which the taste within the tongue, we get the taste because of Varuna. Ashwini Kumaras, they from the nostrils of the universal Lord, and they also reside in the nostrils of all the living entities, by which we will smell aroma. Punyagandhang Pratibhyang Cha, Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says. Similarly, sun, God, from the eyes of the Lord, sun God emanated and entered the eyes of the living entities, by which all of the living entities get the power of vision. Similarly, Anila or air, and the air God emanated from the universal form of the Lord, from the skin, and by his anilas or by the air God's presence, we get tactile knowledge, we get sensation, or we get perception. In this way, this Virat Purusha and the demigods were created. Then there will be description of 27 to 33, the 7 verses, development of planets, living entities and varnas. These planets, 14 planets are there. From the mouth of the Lord, Brahmanas are generated. Mukhabhavurpadebhyo Purusasya Samisa Tattvar Janjire Varna Muni Vipradaya Pruthak. This is also again described in 11th canto, how this creation takes place. Different places we will see the creation. That is the basic knowledge. Similarly, these planets were created by the Lord. Of course, Brahma created all these planets. Separate one lotus flower grew from his navel of the Lord, Parvata Vishnu, and Brahma will separate it into 14 parts called 14 planets. This will be described later. Similarly, from the arms of the Lord, Kshatriyas were generated. Kshatriyas, and thighs, Vaishyas were generated, and legs, Sudras. That's why these Brahmanas are most important. They are in the mode of goodness. They come from the mouth of the Lord. Mouth, this is Agni, is constituted to be the mouth of the Lord. So Brahmanas do these fire sacrifices, and these are the yagyas. Different yagyas are earmarked for different classes of people. In this way, from 34 to 40, the 7 verses will see the highest perfection can be obtained simply by hearing glories of the Lord. That we are now hearing, these glories of the Lord. What a great fortune for us. So it is stated by Maitra Muni in text 37 that Ekandalabham Bataso Nupunsam Sushloka Mauri Gunabadamaho Sutesha Vidvadbhir Upakrutayang Katha Sudayang Upasamprayogam. See, this is the best utilization of our ears. Ekandalabha Bataso Nupunsam. Bataso means words. What is the highest profit of our words? Ekantala Vatasunu Punsam Susloka Mauri Gundama Gunamadav. The Lord, who is Susloka, very nicely composed verses are there about the Lord. Susloka Mauri Gunamadamahu will describe the pastimes of the Lord through our tongue. Vatasunu Punsam. Sutescha Vidvadvir Upakrutayang. Similarly, our ears, Suta, we got 2 ears by the Lord, and with these 2 ears, we should hear how Katha Sudhayang Upasamprayogam. Katha Sudha, this is nectar. People are, through these ears, people are hearing about the poison, material poison. Visha Satata Khainu, it is stated. This Vishaya, this material senses or material pleasures, these are all compared to with poison. Visha Satata Khainu, always we are drinking or eating this poison. So we get a chance, those who listen to Srimad Bhagavatam, they get a chance of tasting nectar. This Bhagavatam is full of nectars. So the highest perfectional gain of humanity is to engage in discussions of the activities and glories of the pious actor. Such activities are so nicely arranged in writing by the great learned sages that the actual purpose of the year is served just by being near them. This is the best utilization of our years. In the purport, Prabhupada Maharaj says, Srimad Bhagavatam is one of such great literatures, and the highest perfectional state of life is attained simply by hearing and reciting its contents. This Srimad Bhagavatam, as we have heard in second canto, 10th chapter, the last chapter, that 10 subjects are stated. In Srimad Bhagavatam, all the knowledge is there. Sarga, Visarga, Sthanam, Pasanam, Mutaya, Manvatara, Isan, Katha, Nirodha, Muktira, Ashraya. These are the 10 subjects of Srimad Bhagavatam. So now we are hearing Sarga and Visarga, how creation is being done by the Lord, and that is further expanded by Lord Brahma. Sarga and Visarga. Then we will hear fifth canto, Sthana, different places, etc. We will hear Srimad Bhagavatam. It is a very good, great fortune for us that we are listening to Srimad Bhagavatam, entire Srimad Bhagavatam in English and in short, and also with important verses, with purport of Acharyas. So thank you very much for listening to this lecture, and please don't forget to subscribe, share and like our channel and get the blessings of the Lord. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama.